Here, I'm doing something that I've already filmed on. You'll be seeing more of this drawing at a later date with another video. This is an original drawing in blue pencil by a friend of mine, another artist. I'm gonna have to tilt the board a little bit just to get a little close up. So, as you can tell here, this was all done in blue pencil, but it was. Hold on a second. I'm using an HB lead here, and this particular tool, which I think for artists would be interested in knowing, is just a Blick Studio 2H lead. So I use that. I use Color Erase, or Color Erase is made by, I can't remember the company now, but hold on a second. This is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm trying to get all the pieces of the puzzle, even my pencil holder, to work. Alright, folks, hold on a second. This will come through in a minute. Alright, so this is an HB lead 2H. As you can tell here, this was originally done in blue pencil. It's a non-repro blue made by Steadler Morris. And what was done, actually, I think he did this in blue, or could have been a graphite lead. And then he scanned it, put it into his computer, and then printed it out as a blue line, which normally would be inked. Unfortunately, I couldn't go straight into the inks because it was a rough drawing. It was it was a full drawing, but it was relatively rough. All the details have had to add here of the facial features, and as you can tell here, the wolves, teeth and tongue and so forth. Where the details for my inking brush and my inking quill will go later on. Also, this is a very glaring, lapse. I don't necessarily. Well, it could be a mistake too, but whichever way you want to call it. Here, this sort of witchcraft. So what I'm looking for, a Witcher type character. Kind of reminds me of that character from the the Netflix show. I'm probably the only person who has yet to watch that show. But needless to say, the arm. Here he's got the giant broadsword, and the fingers on the sword don't match. As you can tell, the hilt is actually going into his curled fingers, but it comes out behind his hand. So I'm going to have to rectify that as I draw here. So a lot of drawings like these are just basically, I would say they're somewhere between a sketch and a final drawing. They're a layout of some sort. It could be a more advanced layout, or less that. Either way, I pencil myself and I ink. So in this case, I'm going to have to go in and finish the drawing. So the finished pencils will be done by me, and the inks for all these details will be done by me as well. So I've already worked on this side of the body, and the characters, the sort of tethered heads that he's lopped off from, an animal. I guess this is not a vampire. What do they call it? A zombie of some sort. And this individual over here is some crazy old lunatic out of some forest camp that he found him in. All right, I'm making this up as I go along because I really don't know the story behind the character. It was just drawn and handed to me to do the final pencils. Normally I might do if you look at the circumference here of the gloved hand, I don't know that I'd make the glove that wide or that long, but I'm going to stick to the original pencil since, again, I'm not trying to, as a layout artist and an inker, to undo the penciler's work. I want to refine it and make it better. So here, I'm going to give myself a very cursive line where I plan to add some detail. Sort of like this, as I'm sure you can see there. Hopefully the video's coming across clearly for you. And also the glove tends to be made out of leather or some kind of cloth, but it would be very flexible. I use this 2H lead, by the way, in case you're wondering. because the lead itself is not. Let me turn this around a little bit, get a close up here. Unlike the HB lead, it's very light, so I can actually go over it with this eraser and fix any particular pencil mistakes that I've made. And here you sort of have to have an idea of what it's supposed to look like, the material, and what you're going for. I've read enough Conan comic books over the years, and read enough of the Robert H.E. Howard or Robert Howard books. That was a long time ago, though. To have an idea. I like to stay true to the original pencils, but sometimes there's some things that need a little fixing, like let me see if I can add something of me, but not take away anything of what he did. Okay, always remember that your middle finger here, most humans, I don't know for every single person on the planet, but most people, tends to be the longer one. So he got that right, but it just needed to be sort of reassessed. Oops. See how right there I'm making a mistake. Okay, I don't like the fact that this finger is actually too thick. I'm going to have to play with this a little bit in the penciling stage. Okay, there we go. We're getting form. You want form to follow function. Whatever the function of the body, that part of the body. This is going to be a little bit harder to interpret. This is actually his thumb. It's a little crimped in there, but it should stick out. I think he tried to put it, is that the end of the glove? Or is that a nail? We're just going to have to go with it. It's a gloved hand. So I don't have to worry about putting in a nail. A fingernail is what I'm referring to. I think this will be okay. I gave it a little, hold on a second. Let's try to refine this a little bit. This is a little too thick here. Your small finger should never be the same width or circumference, I should say, as, is that the index finger? Yeah. This actually looks almost as if he was trying to put a nail in there, but okay, so this one actually goes, sometimes it helps if I just do this myself. Watch my own hand and then draw from that. Okay. I'm going to have to play with this a little bit, refine it in the inks. This thumb, though, if we're going to make it a glove, we might add a little texture here. There we go, to define it as a glove. See what I'm saying? Okay, it's okay if he has a small thumb. Not everyone has a giant thumb. I know I don't. You can see from my hands. All right. Now, some of you might be thinking or asking yourselves, like, hey, you do this all the time? Well, I've been doing it for years. But what about this embellishment? See, this I don't like. He put too many. Let me just go straight for the form of the hand, which would be like this. Some things have to be altered to conform to anatomy. Human anatomy is key, but it has to be displayed, visible, viewable, I suppose that would be the right word, the correct term, through whatever material. It could be a dress, it could be pants, it could be corduroy, it could be satin lace, a puffy bomber jacket. But the human form must show through it to make it visually believable, at least insofar as comics are concerned. And, comic-like art. As you can tell here, these are parts of featherings that I'm going to do later on in the inking process. Again, I want to keep to his original idea of where the ink should go. Because when a penciler does this, he's telling the inker, which will happen to be me, that he wants the shadows to fall here. Now, why is that important? It's important because at the end of the day, wherever the shadows are cast on the form, it could be the figure, it could be a naked body, if it's an anatomy drawing, it could be a character from one of the Marvel, DC universes, or an independent character like Spawn, or um, something else from Dark Horse Comics, or fully from your imagination, or a television show, or an amalgamation of all of those uh, aspects of entertainment and pop culture. It could be like a warrior, a mythical warrior that you sort of made up in your head, kind of like this character here. Again, I don't know for a fact, and I can't ascertain whether he was influenced or not by The Witcher, but that was just my guesstimation from the way it looks. That it was some kind of a heroic character like that. Uh, Here, I did bring a ruler, which is gonna come in handy. Unfortunately, it's my small ruler, but it'll have to do. Usually I can make good work of this 12-inch ruler. All right. As you can tell in this drawing, uh, on one thing about a drawing like this is that it requires you to do, as a penciler, which he did actually, uh, everything here, let me explain this a different way. Everything here is see if I can draw this here. If you can see it here, is a curved line. Let me use the HB lead. Okay, this is, I don't even know, this is my mechanical pencil, but I forgot which type of lead is in here. I don't even know the brand of mechanical pencil, I just bought it. It works. It holds my lead, that's all I needed to do. Also, when you're drawing, don't get caught up with so much of the materials that are at hand. It could be Staedtler Mars for non-repro blue pencils. It could be Faber-Castell for your graphite pencils. But either way, what matters is the ability of the artist, of the penciler, and your ability to practice, and get better and better with time. I think many artists do. Anyway, so again, everything here involves a curvature of some sort. You can see it here, on the straps of his leather tunic. Let me clear away all the debris. Everything, the heads, the eyes, the nose, if you look at it, everything involves a curvature of some sort